Hey everybody, it's me again. I think it's April, what's the date here? April 8th. I'm in Rojava, which is part of Kurdistan. It's the Syrian area of Kurdistan, called Rojava. Rojava, I guess, is Kurdish for west. So this is West Kurdistan. I'm on what's called nobachi right now. Nobachi is guard duty. And if you look around, I'm on the roof of our tabul. Tabul is our base. And this is our main building. You can see the dirt berm that surrounds us out there. And beyond the berm is a trench. Let's see if I can get it here. Berm around there, and there's a trench. You can just barely make it out there. So they can get a higher vantage point. The trench is about 10 feet deep and 8 feet wide. This is our entrance. This is the weak spot. If Daesh were to come in here, we'd have to defend this part here, and they could also come through here and up over the wall. So this is our weak point here. This is our parking lot. Most of the time it's full of cars. This is the Arab village that was taken over by Daesh. I heard they were pro-ISIS. Daesh and ISIS is the same thing. They call them Daesh here. And then the Kurds came and retook the village, and now it's abandoned. And we've pretty much picked it over for anything of use. Another YPJ base over there. That one was attacked about a month ago. One of the buildings was blown up. Several people were killed. This base was also attacked, but they didn't enter the base. The enemy didn't enter. There's a YPG camp. That's our YPG camp. This is YPJ, where I'm at right now. So nobachi is guard duty. And essentially what I do, I'm up here for about an hour and a half, depending on how many people there are in the camp. I just keep an eye on what's going on around here. Keep track of all these cars that are flying back and forth. Sometimes they wave, sometimes they don't. It's my binoculars, and I'll keep an eye out on the other villages and stuff like that. If there's any shooting and stuff, I'll report that. On the hillside back here is all Daesh. They're about a couple kilometers away. If I could use the zoom on this thing, I would zoom into way out there. There's a homemade Daesh tank. If I had to describe what it's like out here, it's a mix of the video game Fallout, which I've never played, but everybody here who plays it says it's just like this. A lot of scavenging and abandoned villages for weapons and things. It's a mix of Fallout, a good healthy dose of Mad Max, because a lot of the stuff here is homemade and looks Mad Max-ish. And a slight touch of Survivor, because there's things called a tech mirror where we get together every night and we talk about the things that we didn't like during the day and who did it. And then they vote if punishment is due, and then they vote on the kind of punishment. It's kind of a cool way of governing, because if you get accused of something, you can't automatically retaliate or protest. You have to listen and understand why the other person is upset. So it's cool. I like it. I don't speak the language though, so it has to be translated for me, and my translator sucks, so whatever. So as I was saying, nobachi, I sit here, observe, keep track. If somebody comes to the camp, I call for the sobai. The sobai is kind of like the duty officer or the watch officer, I guess. And it's their job to go out and greet them. And they either welcome them or they shoot them. Depends who they are. And that's pretty much it. There's different nobachis though. There's this one, which is a rotating one all throughout the day and the night. Hour and a half. And then usually do 2 shifts, one during the day and one after dark. And then there's the I'm not exactly sure if I'm supposed to give out this information, but when ISIS attacks, what they do is they use the cover of darkness to get as close as they can to us, and then as dawn comes, when they can finally see us, that's when they attack. So we usually go out, pretty much everybody on the base, about 2 a.m. So all these little bunkers you see up here on the roof, out there, and we sit there for 4 hours just watching. And we know they're there. We don't have night vision. They do. But we know they're there because the dogs in the village are barking at them. So we know they're there. And they're just out of sight. and it's not as unnerving as I thought it might be. You hear about people who kind of like, you know, get freaked out knowing that they're there, and they lose their shit and they have to go home. I'm actually finding it kind of like, my biggest thing is falling asleep during the nobachi. I can't seem to stay awake. Yeah, it doesn't freak me out at all knowing that they're there. We've had full moon lately, so it keeps them further out. When there's no full moon and it's pitch black here, the eyes start playing tricks on you. You see things moving around in the dark, and things are moving around. There's donkeys, and wild dogs and wild cats. Unfortunately, dogs get shot. I've not shot one, but we found one just outside here that had been shot. It was shot someplace else, probably by the guys, and it wandered over here injured and died. Sad, but that's war, right? There was one night where I was looking over this way, in this direction, and I saw something move just by that pole. And I was like, the hell was that? I was like, was that somebody, like, you know, crouching behind a tractor? There was a tractor there, and I didn't know, right? So turned out it was a dog. So it happens, it can happen, especially when it's dark like that. So yeah, so that's nobachi. It's pretty simple. I actually like it up here. I get to look at things, and it's kind of quiet. People, it's usually only one person up here, sometimes a few. This is our dushka, by the way. It's a 12.5mm. It's wrapped up to keep it from out of the dust, because it's really dusty here. Oh, look, my first spider in Syria. It does not look like the scary camel spider I saw in pictures. So yeah, it gets dusty here, lots of gun maintenance. So we keep things covered up when we can. That's pretty much it. It's been really quiet. In one of the other videos, I don't know if you've seen it, I mentioned how it had been quiet for a week and then there was some predator drones. Well, that night that I made that video, about 4 kilometers that way, it freaking lit up. There was a predator overhead, and for about an hour, just constant. There was dushkas firing. Oh, hello, spider. There was dushkas firing, and I even heard a Gatling gun, like the kind you'd hear from an A10. Which, if you're not familiar with, Google A10 Gatling gun or Warthog Gatling gun. And me and the Dutch guy from the camp over there, we were wondering, because we didn't hear a jet engine, which would, you know, accompany a Gatling gun on an A10. So we're wondering if maybe they're arming predators with Gatling guns now, because it's a interesting sound. It's pretty distinct and very confusing. So, but yeah, we could see the explosions from here and everything in here. I was going to record video that night, but I had a dead battery. So anyways, well, that's nobachi. That's an update. I'm going to try and do some more on other aspects. I'm going to do one on the culture here. There's been some culture, not culture shock, but some things. I'm a bit of a cultural bigot, I admit it. Some things here I don't like. The shame culture. I'll explain that later. Also, I'll do one on the food and our eating process, because we have to cook everything ourselves and we don't have a real kitchen, there's no electricity and stuff like that, so we campfire everything. It's really just camping. It's just camping with guns, that's all it is. And hunting people instead of deer. I don't know if you heard that, there was just some shelling. Alright, so, oh yeah, it's really getting warm. Like 7:30 in the morning, it's already like freaking 25 degrees. Alright, have fun. Talk to you later.